Hello, 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 lads and lassies, and I am back with another episode of Dr. Stone. Thankfully for me, I took a little, I had my Thanksgiving break, so the cliffhanger of last episode gets to be resolved for me right now. If you hear something in the background, my dog is playing with a very loud chew toy. It's not that dog, I don't think you can see him in the mirror. But he's like literally right under my chair, and he's just chewing away. So if you hear something back down there, that's alright. Dr. Stone, guys. Last episode, Ibarra won. The entire island petrified. This kingdom of science has been reduced to one person. That's right, Senku is the only person to have survived. So let's see how our two great geniuses, a genius in science and a genius in strategy, face off. They both know how the Medusa works. So let's just see. I mean, I think we only have, after this, I think we only have 3 episodes left. So are we going to spend the next 4 episodes fighting Ibarra, or is this going to be the end of Ibarra's line and the next 3 set up the next season? There's only one way to find out, lads. So let's get right into this, shall we? Man. The fact that he's like not even phased about being the last person just alive. It's got to be kind of like lonely to a point, right? Just like walking and just like, oh yeah, I won, but huh.
They're all striking the same strange pose.
I do wonder what this pose is. Like, they gotta be measuring some form of distance. Oh, the person with the white hair was Hyoga. Yeah, from last episode, he did the shot that was in this intro. Oh my gosh, they have the hands in there too. The intro spoils a lot, but like at least it doesn't like spoil it in the sense of like, what does this context mean?
That last beam covered the whole island! You should be a statue!
I'm the main character, baby.
Green glow only grows at 1 speed.
I guess you angle yourself. This probably isn't what they did, but like, it's angle yourself to where you would fall on revival fluid, but then you're just gambling. Will you fall on it after the beam's done?
He'll be able to calculate the exact moment the light will hit him.
Oh, so he'll know when to throw the revival fluid on. Okay, gotcha. Oh, Kasuki. Oh, I love that so much. I love how everyone has like this faith in Senku.
Tossing it high gives me more.
Okay, yeah, he just threw it up. That's kind of what I said.
3 meters high sounds doable. Then lobbing the revival fluid 3 meters into the
Man, I would miss so hard.
Before I'm stone.
It was a gamble. Oh, it's de-petrifying him at the rate that it's petrifying him. That's so cool. Giving everyone a high five on the way. Alright, Senku. I love that he has his 2 fingers up.
I took the liberty of crafting some cutting-edge technology of
What did you do?
Which Google and Toyota were once working round the clock.
They just name drop? You can do that? It's not technically self-driving. Damn, you ran him over. Don't get cocky here, buddy. Yeah, he's gone. Be very careful. Ah, the nails.
The cautious and clever old man versus the haughty child!
He's already gone. Senku ain't got time for monologuing.
Surely he knows he
That strut! My god. Yo! You were gonna throw the nitric acid at him? Okay, yeah, this brings up a very big point from Anne's comment earlier.
I've got nothing left to use as a weapon.
You think you're setting a trap when really I'm the one.
I love that Senku's running and Ibarra is strutting. It's half the episode. It's over half the episode. Dang it.
I am unbelievably cautious.
Alright, Senku, what's your final stand?
Name, boy?
Jump, maybe?
Whooshing sound.
The wind?
Right.
The drone? Has this always... I'm unsure. It could be the drone, could it be like he's hoping for the... revival fluid. Oh my god. How do you plan that? Oh yeah, it is the drone.
And what tops this? Nabbing the Medusa out of the air from the top.
I can't believe it actually, like, if they finally brought it back. Is it not gonna activate though? Dang, this old man is strong!
But I won't lose.
What about the Medusa activating though? Is it cancelled?
Counting is my specialty.
I don't know. Is this something Ibarra counted on? Or... Yep, okay. Yeah, he did say he was pretending to lose.
If your specialty is counting, boy, then mine is estimating the device's range.
Alright, what about now?
Add some wisdom in the final moments of your lives. Perhaps what's most laughable, though, is how you overconfident.
One of you sacrifice yourselves and chest bump it in midair.
You gave a valiant effort, but the last man standing is and was always going to be me!
Now effect 5 meters in
1
a single
second.
second.
Yeah, he got him. That's it. Man, the faith that Ryusui has. I mean, like, we already cleared this. But, like, the faith that Ryusui has to throw himself. Is that the end of the episode? Don't be the end of the episode. Okay. Whew. I was like, that's not the ending song. You're gonna need a lot of revival fluid.
I'm alone.
It's just like how it began.
Senku?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
The other
How are things on
peoples.
your side of the world? Are you doing well?
Well, everyone got petrified again. But we won.
I'm great. Because this time,
What a shot.
I'm not alone.
Oh, that's it. Well, that answered my question about the pacing of this. We're probably going to use the next 3 episodes as setup. If we even have 3 episodes. I guess I could just Google how many episodes will be in this season. Give me a second. 20? Wait, what? 20 episodes? No. Only 20 episodes? Damn, wait, was that the second to last episode of the series? Or the season? Not the series. I don't know. I'm seeing some say 20, some say 21, maybe 22. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out if it's going to be full length or not, or not full length. It's going to be it or not next week. If we have one more episode next week, then we got one more episode next week. If we don't, or not, if we don't, if it's obviously the finale, then that's obviously the finale. Man, I kind of wish I knew if that was it, or next week was going to be it or not. Man, this was a great battle. Dr. Stone, I've said before, it's not known for its choreography. It doesn't need to be known for its choreography. It's not that kind of show. It's like whenever they have an action sequence with what's Maz and Hyoga, it's just like a lot of flashy things, or like what should be very fast-paced, fluid. You know, like if this was done by Ufotable, it's going to be beautiful. But Dr. Stone's not in their wheelhouse to do it. I don't know. Well, it's not that. It might not be in the budget, it might not be in the timing, but it's not that kind of show. It doesn't need to be a shonen. But this was like the perfect battle, not in the sense of choreography, just in the sense of escalation and de-escalation. We have a yes, we have a no, we have a yes, we have a no. Like up until the very end of the episode, they kept tilting the scales of power. So it was, I guess let's start at the very beginning in the sense of like Senku with the phone. Ibarra drops the Medusa. Senku runs over Ibarra. They're like, yes, Senku won. Then Ibarra is like, haha, reverse Uno card. I have body armor on me. And Ibarra stabs Senku. Senku 2, Ibarra 2. Senku throws nitric acid at Ibarra, which in a previous comment that was left in last episode for Patreon, and Leafdoor said that, or she brought up the fact that Senku has never like used lethal force before with Tsukasa or Hyoga. It's always been trying to reason with them, trying to use more like if it is force, if he does use force, it's never like lethal or like not too dangerous. But here, he just chucked nitric acid at that guy, or not nitric. He just chucked the sulfur. I think it was the sulfur. The lady girl, that the demon lady of the water. I think it was the sulfur. That one shot sniff kills you or just burns you. And he just chucked that right at Ibarra's face. And granted, he also chucked the revival fluid, but that is desperate. So, Senku throws, in a desperate attempt, he throws the nitric acid. Ibarra blocks it. They get to the edge. Ibarra has the upper hand. Plot twist. Ryusui's here, and the drone is now in our possession. It's a tug of war. Ibarra has the upper hand in strength. Senku, you're like, yes, Senku tricked him. He's going to give the obvious solution, which I think everyone, whenever you're in a situation, when you're in a writing situation, that's like the first thing. All right, you're tug of war, then you let go at the second, and then the villain gets it. The villain gets hit with his own ray because he wanted it too much. I love it's such an easy subversion to do. If you think about it, it's just an easy subversion to do. Of course the villain's gonna think about that. That's the first thing that anyone would think of. So Senku's like, you're like, all right, release, and then Ibarra like, I wasn't born yesterday. Chucks the hat being a counter. I love the implication that this man's Ibarra. Where is that hat? His entire, I guess, life, he's like, you think I haven't thought of a way to counteract my own petrification beam? He's like, the only reason that hat exists is to counteract the petrification beam. Honestly, I love that. I love the implication of that. And then Senku gets the final hand because of the trust his teammates have within him. Ryusui just charging in, which I'm sure was part of the plan, but it's like, all right, Ryusui, I'm gonna need you to charge in. You might break. Like, no question. Ryusui understood the assignment, attached the thing, and that's how, in the end, Senku won. Of course, we had anime time where Senku gave a whole comeback speech of like, "You're right. The smartest men are the easiest to." If Ibarra was, oh no, I threw it. But it's anime. So you gotta have that. We were living in anime time. That speech that Senku gave, that was 0.1 seconds. It's 0.01 seconds. All right, a nanosecond. Ibarra had no time. That was the perfect fight for this type of show. This is why I really like Dr. Stone. Like, it doesn't need the flashy Ufotable fight or the flashy Mappa fight or anything like that. The fights that it gives you, sometimes it gives you like the classic shonen fight in the sense of like, all right, yeah, two people going ta ta ta, and then repeat the motion ta ta ta, or like with whenever Hyoga's on screen, it's like, oh, he's so strong. But the fights that really matter within Dr. Stone is just the fights of the mind. Not how are we gonna outskill this person in terms of strength or weaponry. It's how we're just gonna outsmart this person. And this episode, I think, just perfectly encapsulates all of that. And Ibarra, I think it cements Ibarra as one of the best. I mean, like, of course, Tsukasa is always going to be number one, but Ibarra is a very close second, I feel like, to Tsukasa. Not because of ideology, just because of how much of a contrast he is to Senku, how brutal he is, but just how strategic he is as well. This old man did not give up, and he was a threat until the very end. I majorly respect it. This was an amazing episode of Dr. Stone, and honestly a very great resolution to the whole show. Or not the whole show, just like the whole season. I do wish, like, this is such a minor thing, it doesn't detract from the show. I wish that the season was released all at once. I understand, like, either scheduling or maybe the studio's doing like another anime, so they can't finish Dr. Stone all at once. I wish there wasn't like the I was gonna say 2 season gap. I think it was 2 seasons. It was like, what, 6-9 month gap between part 1 and part 2. I feel like this works so well as a whole experience. I want to be real. The cliffhanger for part 1 wasn't like the best cliffhanger. It's kind of like, all right, like, this is the place to stop it, because if we go any further, then it's gonna like just be unsatisfying. It was it wasn't a great cliffhanger. It feels like more. I just wish that. Granted, that episode was also very emotionally impactful, and it almost made me cry. I just remembered Byakuya. That was Byakuya's episode. It was a great episode to end on. It's just the cliffhanger. You know that it's being split up, not because of like this is where the story splits up, and it's natural, but it's more of a we don't have the time to do it. Or I'm sure there's many things as to why they split the season up into 2 parts. Either timing, budget, maybe a marketing thing. I know a lot of animes are starting to do part 1, part 2s now. Thanks, Attack on Titan. I know it was a thing before Attack on Titan. But it's kind of become very popularized. It's like, alright, we're going to reduce Season 1, Part 1, and then Season 1, Part 2, where we get the rest of the 24 episodes. But I do kind of miss anime that went on for 24 episodes, because I feel like for good shows, like Dr. Stone, 12, 11 episodes is not long enough. Let me pull up my the anime that I'm currently watching right now. Like, Free Run, it's going to be 27 episodes. It's technically 24, but the first episode is like an hour and 20 minutes, and they split it up into 4 episodes. So Free Run's going to be 24 episodes, and I think if it was 12 episodes, which is what it's at right now, it's just not enough. Like, sometimes, I guess, like slice of life stuff, slice of life romance, and even then, that's not enough. But a majority slice of life romance, I think you can get away with 11 to 12 episodes, because unless it's like really plot heavy, it's not gonna be much. It's mostly like gags and stuff. There's one show I'm watching, My New Boss is Goofy. The show is goofy. It's fun. But if it was 24 episodes, I think it would overstay its welcome. 12 episodes for this show? Watch, this one's going to get 24 episodes. But I think 12 episodes for My New Boss is Goofy is a good amount of time, because like the episodes are paced well enough to where you get the idea of what the show's going to be. There's not too much plot in it, or not really any plot at all. It's mostly just like this guy having shenanigans with his boss. Like, his boss is, it's in the title, his boss is Goofy. And every episode we like, all right, so this is what his boss goofs up now. So there's not like, I don't need 24 episodes of that. But for something like, I don't want to bring up Dr. Stone. What else am I watching? The Apothecary Diaries, I guess. This one's also going to be 24 episodes long. This kind of slice of life-ish. It's about an apothecary, which I don't really know the exact definition of, so I will give you what I believe it means based off of the show. Someone that's just into herbal medicine, or just medicine in general. And she was abducted from her normal life, and now she's working within the Grand Palace, and she has to do doctor things for I know this is I do recommend, go watch it. It's probably one of the best anime of the season. It's actually one of the handful that's like, it's in the top 5 of the season, if not top 3. I'm doing a horrible injustice at attempting to describe it. It's just kind of hard to describe. But she's kidnapped from her family, kidnapped from her normal life, brought to a palace where she has to work as a doctor for the royal family, or people that are close to the royal family. There is much more depth to it than that. I did a horrible job at trying to describe it off the top of my head. But 12 episodes for this show, it's just not enough, because it's more than just girl does doctor things. It's not a procedural, like one episode she does this, one episode she does that. The first few episodes, yes, it is like that. But in the background, you can tell that there's some world building going on. There's something happening in the background. And it's starting to ramp up. So if it ended at 12 episodes, I don't think it would 12 episodes, it's a tease, but it's not enough to flesh it out. Same thing with ReZero, which, funnily enough, I think ReZero Season 2 was split into 2 parts. But ReZero also, if you stop midway, that's not enough. It just would not be enough, because like Season 2 is not Part 1, Part 2. It is a whole story. But yeah, I think Dr. Stone, long tangent aside, I think Dr. Stone is one of the shows where like 12 episodes, also my selfishness for loving the show, it's not enough. I do believe for season 2 it was enough because that wrapped up the Stone Wars arc. So it's either they would have extended season 1 into like 36 episodes, but season 2, that's an example where 12 episodes is enough because it completely wrapped up that arc. And I guess if they wanted to make it longer, they could have turned the Ryusui special into like just a section of season 2 to just extend season 2. But season 2, I think, was enough in the sense that that wrapped up the arc, and you can tell that chapter of Dr. Stone was over. But season 3 part 1, it's not really part 1. It's like, come on, give us the rest of it. I would have loved to have seen it all like back to back to back, but you know, it's time and scheduling stuff. This is a very long tangent. I am very sorry. I loved the ending shot of the parallels. Like Senku started off in this world alone, and even though everyone around him is stoned, I think he did actually forget that everyone around him is stoned. Like he still has allies over there. Perfect timing, by the way, on those allies' end. But I think for a moment there he felt alone, and then when Ruri called, he realized like I'm not, because back then, episode 1, like he wakes up, he doesn't know if there's anyone alive. He had no idea about the village, Ishigami village, no idea about anything. So I think in that moment he remembered that loneliness, and then he was reminded like, oh wait, I'm not the only person alive anymore. There's people outside of my world that are living their own lives. And that gave him that final smile. God, that last shot, just him watching the sunset. So good. I would totally fumble that toss where he's like, I need to toss this at the exact right second to make sure it lands on me as soon as the ray hits me. I need to make sure that I would fumble it so hard. They're not even just, if I could calculate it, I would not be able to throw it that straight up because everything I throw has a curve to it. And he threw it 3 meters, which is 9 feet. Maybe I could, I don't know. I have a really horrible accuracy when it comes to like throwing things. I'm okay with archery. When it comes to throwing things with my hand, I have horrible accuracy. But the inherent trust that everyone has within him. It's like as people were like doing alright, you got to hear every single one of their monologues, or not monologues, I guess it was like one statement or a couple statements. Oh man, that was good. I love seeing how much faith they have in Senku. I feel like this show uses their giant cast to its utmost perfection. It's like potential, not perfection, potential. My Hero Academia has a giant cast, or I guess it kind of doesn't. I guess like going into My Hero Academia, when you meet the class, I think there's an expectation the class is going to be the cast, but it's not the entire class that's the cast. It's a couple characters. The main cast is Bakugo, or it's Deku, Bakugo, Todoroki, and then the class are side characters. But I think going into it, when you see the class, you think like, oh, these guys are going to be the main characters. Like it's the entire class. And for a little bit, Ida was a main character. For a little bit, Ochako got a couple episodes. And there's some, not OVA, there's some like episodes where it focuses on characters of the class without the big three. But it is Deku, Bakugo, and Todoroki's show. The class comes second. Whereas in Dr. Stone, I think the cast comes first. I think the plot, or I think the cast just like perfectly fall into the plot of the show, where it's never just Senku. Like this was Senku's moment to shine, and he did not do it alone, which I love. I love that even like he got the final line, but he needs his cast. Where he only used in the end he used Ryusui, but he still needs his cast. and he's never afraid to use the cast. It's never like, all right, guys, I came up with this scientific ass pool to defeat Maz. It's like, no, I don't have anything to defeat Maz. We're going to use Hyuga. There are times when Senku's science just does not fit the situation, and he steps back to let someone else fill in for him. I love that about Dr. Stone. It's probably one of the best, or at least better, examples of how to have a giant cast and have everyone feel like their importance are needed. Even though sometimes I say, like, I wish that the cast was smaller to focus. I wish that the cast was smaller to focus on characters like, Taiju and Yuzuriha. We haven't really had too much of them since the first 6 episodes, but the cast is just so huge. But there's still, at least Yuzuriha for the most part, is still very needed. She's the clothes maker. She's the one that's the professional at putting people back together. And Taiju is the muscle, the enthusiasm. Whereas, like, the muscle, we have like a lot of other characters to be, but that enthusiasm is Taiju. I just wish that we got to see more of Taiju, Senku, and Yuzuriha specifically together, since they were the ones that started the show. But like, everyone in the cast has their role, and I don't feel like they're forgotten. I just wish that we had more of them. Whereas in My Hero Academia, you can kind of feel sometimes like Class 1A and then Class B. Class A and Class B is forgotten. Class 1A, sometimes it feels like they are forgotten, or it feels like there are situations within the series that you would want Class A to be more a part of. But that's just my opinions. I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments below, or you think My Hero like uses their cast perfectly or on par with Dr. Stone. But man, this episode, I'm satisfied. This was a great, satisfying ending to what has been an arc that I thought we would not have even had. I did not believe that this arc was going to be this long. I didn't know what to expect when we got to the island, and we spent I guess we spent an entire half season on this island. And at first I thought it was going to be like a one and done thing, maybe like 4 episodes and we go on. No, this was a full thing, a fully developed arc, and it was great. I have had a lot of fun with this arc, and now we're in the wrap up, whether that be 1 episode or 3 more episodes. I hope it's 3 more episodes, because I do want to tease for what's to come. I don't think 1 episode can give us that tease, but who knows, maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, lads and lassies, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment down below. And if you really enjoyed the reaction on YouTube, I recommend you checking out the full length on Patreon, or early access so you can see the final episodes of Dr. Stone right now without having to wait week to week. Like I will sadly have to wait week to week until the finale of this. But we're done with this. I'm glad that I was able to watch this episode and last episode kind of together. And I'll see you back next week, lads. If while you wait on YouTube or Patreon, check out our Gurren Lagann, My Hero Academia, speaking of, Kill la Kill, Darling in the France. I've done a lot of solo anime reactions. I've done a lot of anime reactions with my friends. So if you want to see the cast of the Jam Lads, oh yeah, see cast. It kind of fits. It kind of flows. If you want to see more of the cast of the Jam Lads, go ahead and check that out. And I've also done anime award videos where those are more scripted content, and I have a lot of fun with that. So if you want to check that out, go ahead. And I also stream. I've been starting to stream quite a bit recently. So if you want to see more streams, notification bell so you're always there. And I'll see you all, lads, in the next one.